Alright, hey all you viewers, to be named later, how we doing today? Yeah, I know this one's a little bit different, so sorry about the weird angles. As you saw by that thumbnail, whatever else you clicked on, we're going to talk about basing your miniatures. I'm going to show you right now a quick, easy way to really upgrade your base before you're finished. Now, I know a lot of people like to do this afterwards, like when you get your whole miniature painted. But I also know there's other people out there who will just paint your base, like whatever color your playmat usually is, like a green, a brown, or a white. But basing your miniatures can take it to an entirely different level. And it may make a difference in painting for like tournaments and everything else to give you that little advantage. Not to mention, if you've spent like 30, 40 hours working on a character miniature, you want it looking good. You're not going to have this great, wonderful painted miniature and a base. You're going to look at it and go, eh. Alright, so you just need a couple things. Well, you need a miniature, so in this case, we're just going to use my recently completed Wolfguard boss. Well, I should say, Wolfguard Terminator boss. You're going to need some white glue, Simple Elmer's white glue. Now, I grabbed some stuff from the Army Painter, bits of sand. Alright, not so much sand, but love gravelly sand kind of thing. I know, you can go outside, pick it up for free, but I love supporting my local gaming store. And the small town that I'm in with the pandemic and everything else, how they got hit, it's always important to help support them out. And you're going to need a tool to help move that glue around. I've used a butter knife before. I've used a popsicle stick cut in half. Seriously, this one from, I believe, the Army Painter, their smoothing tool or their sculpting tool, whatever you want to call it. This one with the small little spear top, it's worked the best for me. Alright, so let's get started. Basically what you're going to do is just open it up, and I like to give it a little shake. Not all over the place, but, shake to get the gravel kind of settled and kind of done. Don't worry, I'm going to try to get better views of this, okay? Take your white glue, open it up. Now this is where you want to be careful. This is why I prefer to do it before the miniature's primed. Because the glue's going to settle and you may lose some feet texture or feet in the sand. I've always looked at it as these are massive hunks of power armor. They're going to sink in the dirt when they walk. So no matter how good you paint your miniature, when you flock it, you're going to lose some areas around. If you do what I'm doing, you're going to lose some areas around. So I do it beforehand. Alright? Basically, you take your white glue and you get it all around the base. Not completely covering everything. But what I like to do is get a big old blob down there. Kind of do it in a circle. And, sorry. You basically take your tool and you just smooth the glue around. You want to get as big as coverage as you can. Not to mention being careful of the feet when you're working in there. I am really sorry, this is the first time I'm trying to do this. So I'm sure when I see the video later, I'm going to be like, boy, I should have done it on a different angle, done it where, done it here. But bear with me, this is the first of any of these things that I've done. Okay, so there we are, smooth all the way around, and this step is really, really simple. That's dumb. All right, stay. What I do is I get it in my gravel, shake it around a little bit, give it another dump, shake it around, and I leave it alone for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so now it hasn't been 45 minutes. I got the smoothing tool cleaned up because you don't want that glue to harden on there because you never ever know where else you're going to use it at. Get that squared away, put you away. But what I did do is basically after 45 minutes, you basically pick your miniature up, turn it upside down, and tap it gently on the bottom. That way all that excess sand falls off. And it's going to leave you with something that looks like that. Now I know it's not perfectly colored white, but that gives you a good primer base on there for whatever wash or paint or whatever you're going to do to stick on that sand. And yes, that's a Wolfen force, I should say a Wolfen unit that I just completed. I'm going to shoot a video on this in a little bit. I have never had a 5 5-person unit give me so many fits putting them together. My kids learn very brand new words. But I also wanted to show you a different model that's currently a work in progress. Now I took that same method with the sand down there, and what I did was start with Agrax Earthshade or Guillaume Flesh, usually. Give it a coat of bone white, then finish it up with like a white. I know they're brand new colors in Citadel now, but that's what I did. It gives me that dirty snow look that I want to look for because I primarily use Space Wolves. Also on the bigger stuff from the Army Painter, I got their little gravel thing, which just, it's not gravel, it's like pieces of torn up cork. And I use it as rock bases because not every single area is going to be silky smooth. So I haven't gone over it with white yet on this guy. And I will, and I haven't painted in the rock shit to give them their dry brushing to make them look like rocks. But the limits that you can do with your bases are your imagination. I usually put static grass in certain clumps. I'll put a blob of glue down, tweezers, static grass, press it in, leave it alone for an hour. After an hour, basically turn it upside down, knock it all off, get a really, really smooth brush like this guy, and gently tease the grass up till it's in a standing position, and then I hit it with sealer. But that's one way that you can add dimension, depth, life to your bases. If you don't want to and you just want to paint over it with a certain color, that's fine. Do what you feel is best and do what makes you happy. It's your force. When you put it on the tabletop, you have to be happy with it. Now, granted, if you're in a tournament, you're probably going to get marked down because I know when I was playing 20 years ago, the standard was 3 colors on the miniature and some kind of base. So you can literally paint your base green, paint your base white, blue, black, purple, fuchsia, whatever you want. It's all on you. But you want to, if you're serious about your hobby and you want to take a next step, this is a simple step. I know people who build such intricate bases, it's not even funny. But here's a good starter. Simple white glue, a little bit of gravel, and a smoothing tool, and you've got yourself a base that you can play with. Now, this is part of the video that I love the most. Seriously, this is one that I seriously wait for. I want to know your questions, comments, love, hatred, anger, all that fun stuff down below. Do you have any tips for basing your miniatures? Let's share them and let's help new hobbyists grow. I know I bugged a lot of people 20 years ago. Man, I used to sit down with some of the best painters in the world that I could get my hands on via social media or whatever and go, let's talk. Yeah, I know I paid $50 to enter this tournament. I don't care. Give my opponents the victories. Let's talk painting. Because everybody in this hobby that I've seen, they love to share their knowledge. Because everybody had to start from somewhere. Now, if it made you laugh, made you cringe, made you cry, made you do any of that, especially with this weird angle, please hit that big old thumbs up. It's only going to help trigger that algorithm and help get this insanity out there to some other people. Well, there we go, guys. My quick, easy thing for basing your miniatures. I hope all of you are having a great day, a fun day, a safe day, and I'll see all of you in our very next video.